he like spurred up. I put a new shell in, and I look, and he's in the woods because it was just a gas line. And it's like, okay. So we waited for everyone else to clear. Another bull come out. We thought it might have been him, but he has those unique curls on him. Makes him real easy to spot. So they all cleared out, and we're walking up there, and I don't see any blood. I'm like, having a video? We wind back on the video to see what tree he went in by. And Larry went in down that way, and we went up above, and I hear bingo from Larry. It went in about 50 foot. We heard something fall. It was him. He just fell over.
So Tom Bob Outdoors did video.
They videotaped the whole thing, and they broadcast it. I forget. I think it was February.
Okay.
But,
so, I mean, how many people were with you whenever you shot that elk?
There was me, Matt on my back, Amanda, Ben, Larry, and who else was? Someone else. One other guide was with us. By the time the word got out, there was like 8 of us. I mean, it was like a magnet. All of a sudden, people were just showing up. But yeah, they took care of all the paperwork, which there's a lot of paperwork with an elk, taking samples. You know, they got it. My daughter got in there. She grabbed the heart, and she was helping diagnose what every other part was in the animal. And I'm like, it's something she enjoys. It's a nurse thing. But then we had 2 boards, and we like drug this thing up onto the flatbed. And it was like 7 of us, and it was a healthy drag because they were estimating them weighing around 50.
Jeez.
So, but yeah, they did all the paperwork, got all that, pictures.
That is such a Pennsylvania thing.
Oh yeah.
To shoot an elk, field dress it, and drag it out like it's a whitetail. You go out west, and they're gonna quarter it up, right?
Yeah. We were so lucky. It was a beautiful afternoon. Happened 4:30. And he could pull, it was his property, he pulled the truck up right to it.
Okay.
So we were able to just drag it on because otherwise, I don't know, I hear they use horses and I can believe it because I don't hear how many people you have, it'd be fun.
So once you got the elk, you got it up onto the flatbed, where to go then?
We stopped everywhere we stopped. All these people stopped because it's the only elk in town that's on the back of a flatbed. So people getting their pictures taken with it. We stopped and got ice in it, took it to Larry's house, and then the next morning came here for the biologist. We met him here, and he took the samples and teeth and pulled the tusk for me. And then we were here probably an hour and a half. People were just all around, checking everything out. And then from there, we went over to the taxidermist. He pulled the antlers, took out the brain to send in to get checked. And then we went to the butcher shop. And he's jacking this thing up. It goes clear to his roof, and the front holster's still on the ground. I'm like, holy smokes. So yeah, it was, every part of it was just unbelievable. I mean, we had a hard time getting out of here. We had to basically get in the truck and drive away. Because people weren't leaving.
Like paparazzi following you, taking pictures.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean that.
Yeah.
The first picture I saw came from Trophy Rack Outfitters, and then all of a sudden it looked like they were all the pictures from here at Kika, and every once in a while you'd see one from in town or something like that pop up. Let's go back to that sort of moment of truth. Nervous?
I'm leaning on the tripod. Matt's on my back, and I'm like holding, and I was pretty on most of the time. I shot, and I put a new round in, and for some reason I decided I need to put another bullet in my clip. I dropped the clip. I'm trying to get the bullet to go in the clip. There's no way. I couldn't even get close to getting that thing in the clip, so I just put the clip back in again. But yeah, it was just like a flood. And then once we got to the bull, I'm just looking at the thing, and it's huge. And, we took all of our pictures, and I just sat back and just sucked it in. Gary from last year, he won last year. That was one of his biggest pieces of advice. Absorb it all in. Just sit back and absorb it all in because they're doing everything. So that was the biggest thing for me, just absorbing it all. My daughter was there, which made it even more special. Mm-hmm. It was just so much to take in.
So did you have to take off time from work?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had
Was that even
five or six.
Was that even a question, or you just
No, I had to. I had to explain to some of them what an elk was because they're down in Memphis and I work out of Pittsburgh, and so yeah, I was sending pictures and then I told them like I had 380 pounds of meat in a new freezer because the old freezer was not fitting any part of that. So yeah, we bought a new freezer to put this thing in, and it's full of elk meat. Just the whole thing, and then different people wanted to know the caliber, the distance, and just lots of friends of mine at work hunt. So everyone had questions. Everyone that was a hunter first said something, usually a swear word or two, towards me, and then it was all about congratulating. So I mean, pretty much my daughter, when I called her, she goes, "I'll free my calendar up. Let me know when we're going." So she was instantly my guide. So, and of course, every morning my daughter fixed her hair, made sure her camo matched. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" "Well, if we get pictures, I want to look good." So, just different things like that were happening. It was just so much different stuff going on. So it'll be with me forever. I mean, every day I'll open that door and he's going to be right there in the ceiling, not the ceiling, on the sidewall. And, that he's the entrance to the man cave.
Now, okay, so was going to be my next question: is where are you going to put it in your house? I mean,
Yeah.
Do you have whitetail mounts in your house?
Yes, I have like a couple downstairs, and
Right, but a couple don't even take up as much space as this one, right?
No.
So you got to have space for it. Where's it going?
living room wasn't an option, according to my wife.
Okay.
So
that was a question.
the
I
garage was the absolute failback because it's probably 12 foot high. But going to our basement, there's one set of stairs down, then a landing, and then the other set. It's 11 foot high. There was a wall in the middle. It's not there anymore. So it's just going to go on the far wall. So when you open the door, you're basically eye to eye. So
Yeah, I always like to think about that and ask people like where do you put your mounts, because my wife and I have an agreement that my mounts, my antlers, don't go in the house. They go downstairs, right, in what's my man cave, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've come to the agreement that whenever we build our house, she's going to be in charge of the whole house except for the basement. That's my spot. So I know that that's where stuff is going to go. I wasn't sure how excited your wife was to say like, hey,
at first she was excited for me, but then if you watch Big Bang Theory, remember Howard Wolowitz when he went into space? Everything related to space. That's how I was with the elk.
Yeah.
And she's like, just shut up. Don't say the word elk. And I'm like, I can't help it. And then some other people would ask something and she'd just be like, can we quit it? But she'll be glad now that it's calming down a little bit. But it just seems like, well, my daughter, she's a nurse. Guy's post-operative, getting ready to leave. She sees he has an elk hat. Oh, you know about the Kika Center? He goes, oh, yeah, I know about it. And she goes, well, my dad won that raffle last year. You're Roy Moon's daughter? And I'm like, that's how it was. I mean, just things like that.
I was daydreaming last year whenever the tags were being pulled, and I was in my head thinking like, if I got a nice bull, like where my house is small, our basement is unfinished, right? Even though that's my spot, and I'm like, I couldn't bring myself to put right an elk mount in the basement, and I'm thinking, man, how would I convince my wife, or how much to hang that mount above